Welcome, educators. In this video, we will explore how you can review the student submissions for a specific assessment. Our focus today is on how teachers can auto-grade handwritten answer sheets and get rich analytics to understand results by student, by questions, and by categories. To get started, log into your account and click on the My Work tab in left panel. Once the assignments are loaded, you can simply search for your assignment by your name. Let's say I want to review my grade 9 social science exam. Let's open that. When you open the assignment, you would notice that we have already recreated the exams that were conducted. Notice, every question that was created is already tagged to a chapter here. You would notice that for MCQ questions, there is a question, there are options, and there is a correct solution. You can navigate through the assessment either by scrolling on the summary panel or by scrolling in the center. For subjective questions, let's say for question number 5, you would see the question written, the sample answer, and the grading instruction that was provided in the marking scheme. Once you've seen the question paper, the next thing to do is simply go to the Results tab and review the student submissions. To go to the Results tab, just click on the Results button here. When you open the Results tab, you would see 4 tabs at the top: Overview, by Student, by Question, and by Category. The Overview tab is mostly used for online exams, where you can see how many students are yet to start, have started, or have submitted. But for our use case here, we will only see offline submissions because these exams were conducted inside the classroom. The insight you could get here is the average score across your students. Let's get into a little bit more detail and understand the student-by-student performance. To see that, go to the By Student tab. On the By Student tab, you would see all the students who have taken the assignment and their assignments listed here. On the left is the student name, and on the right are their assignments. Let's say I want to see Ananya's responses. I can simply click on Ananya and scroll through to see what her responses were. Now, in this case, we have already auto-graded Ananya's assignment using Classwise AI. But if these were not graded, you would simply go to the 3-dot menu option here and click Auto-Grade to auto-grade Ananya's assignment. Next, let's take a look at how you can review the results of auto-graded answer sheets. Handwriting auto-grading currently ranges between 80 to 90% accuracy. Teachers can always choose to override the AI-graded results. Let's see how the auto-grading results look for the student. To view the auto-grading results, go to the Start Grading button. Here, you'll notice that on the left-hand side, you can scroll through her answer sheet. On the right-hand side, you'll see her scores along with the reasoning behind them. For MCQ questions, the marking is binary, either full marks or 0. For subjective questions, you'll see detailed evaluation along with reasoning for the marks awarded. So, for example, the first 4 questions are MCQs, and you won't see any grading reason there. But from question 5 onwards, you'll see auto-grading reasons provided along with the marks. Let's look at the student's case. In section A, for the first question, she marked option D. Her answer was Jacobins, which matches the correct answer, so she was awarded 1 mark. Similarly, for question 2, the correct answer was option D, where 1, 2, and 3 are all correct, and she received 1 mark. For question 3, she marked option B, which was incorrect, so her marks were deducted. Let's go a little deeper into the subjective questions and answers. I've duplicated and kept the assignment open in parallel, so we can easily refer to the original question. Let's look at question number 6. The question was, what is socialism? How does it relate to the European and Russian revolutions? We had also provided a sample answer, and the grading instructions mentioned that if the student includes any 3 of the listed points, they should receive 1 mark for each. Let's go back to our Student Answer Sheet tab. You can click on Show More to see the full auto-grading reason. In this case, the student received full credit. If you look at the reasoning, it says, correctly defined socialism as collective ownership, mentioned its opposition to worker exploitation, and noted its spread in Europe and Russia through figures like Karl Marx. One thing to note here is that the auto-grading is not just a simple text-to-text comparison. We provided the question and a sample answer, which helps the model understand the concept. It then evaluates the student's response based on that understanding, along with your marking scheme. In this case, the student mentioned 5 points, out of which 3 matched the expected criteria in the marking scheme, and therefore received full credit. To move to the next student, you can simply click on the next option here, which takes you to the next student in the list. You can continue reviewing all students by navigating through Next and Previous option. Once done, you can simply close the tab from the cross on the top. In this next section, we will guide you through the remaining 2 tabs. Reviewing results by question and by category. Let's now see the results in the By Question tab. In the By Question tab, you'll see all the questions listed on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, you'll see either response distribution or question insights, depending on the question type. For objective questions, you'll see a response distribution. For subjective questions, you can generate insights. If you scroll down, you'll also be able to see individual responses from each student. Alongside each question on the left, you'll notice 4 indicators. The green indicator shows how many students answered correctly. The amber indicator shows partially correct responses. The red indicator shows incorrect responses. And the gray indicator shows skipped questions. On the right-hand side, you can also view the response distribution. For example, 11 students selected option D, which is correct, while 1 student selected option A and 1 selected option B. This insight is useful to identify patterns. For instance, if multiple students are choosing the same incorrect option, like option A, instead of the correct option D, you can address that specific misconception in the classroom. Now let's look at subjective questions. Here you'll see the same indicators, but they are based on score ranges. If a student scores above 75%, it is marked as correct. If the score is between 50% and 75%, it is considered partially correct. Below 50% is marked as incorrect. If the question was not attempted, it is counted as skipped. On the right-hand side, you can generate insights based on student performance. For example, here it shows that overall performance was very strong, with 11 out of 13 students scoring full marks and demonstrating solid understanding. It also highlights where students went wrong and suggests next steps. For some questions, insights may already be generated. If not, you can simply click on the Generate Insight button, and within a few seconds, the insights will appear. After a couple of seconds, insights based on the grading results will be automatically generated. For example, in this case, it shows that overall performance was strong, with 8 out of 13 students scoring full marks and the remaining 5 scoring 3 out of 4. Now, let's look at the By Category tab. For this example, I've opened a different assignment. When you go to the By Category tab, you can view analytics by chapters or by NCF codes. Do note that this analysis is only available if your assessment has been mapped to chapters and learning objectives. In this case, for example, grammar has 12 learning objectives. When I open grammar, it shows the score across each learning objective and how students have performed. For instance, demonstrative adjectives appear to be a low-scoring area. When we open this further, we can see what happened in detail. For example, for the question, which sentence uses a demonstrative adjective correctly? Around 7 students answered correctly, while nearly 22 answered incorrectly. This highlights a clear opportunity to go back into the classroom and reinforce this specific learning objective. That's all for this video. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your time and attention. Using Classwise, you're not just saving hours, you're freeing up time to invest in what truly matters. Enhance your student learning. Together, let's make every moment count. Start today and experience the difference.